Okay, so kind of out of order here. I missed Aries. So I'm just going to finish up in this last video by doing just Aries, because I did not mean to leave Aries out of the big reading. All right, so let's ask for Aries at this time. What are some of the collective themes for Aries? What are the strengths, weaknesses, current challenges, all that kind of stuff? What are we surrendering with this new moon and calling in? Seven of Swords. Okay, so the Seven of Swords traditionally in tarot is about deceptive energy. That's not specifically what I'm getting from this card. I just see her kicking a bunch of zombies down the stairs, and to me that is tossing to the curb anything that's too much work at this time. That is not, excuse me, coming from a place of laziness. It's just coming from seeing the things that you're invested in that are not valuable at this time and just getting rid of it, because all that type of energy is doing, that zombie energy is taking up your space, taking away the energy that you otherwise would have for the things you really do want to invest your time in. So maybe with this new moon Aries, you are getting really good at cutting out the things that are not replenishing you, giving to you, exciting to you, and recognizing maybe like things you're involved in and projects you're working on that are aligned with other people more so than they're aligned with you. And I also, the thing that I'm hearing and feeling from this card too is cleaning house. So that's the other thing, is maybe you need to do some cleansing and clearing of your space and your energy field. Maybe you need to take a little bit more time for your own self-care, pour back into your own cup a bit, get a healing yourself or a massage or anything like that, but just sort of cleansing and clearing your aura, your energy, your home perhaps. And let's see what else is here. Four of Wands. Yeah, this is about foundation. Yeah, because to me this is what I'm seeing here. It looks like a birthday party gone awry, just filled with zombies. So it's like, so the energy of so many different people and things in your space that you don't want there anymore, and it feels like people that overstayed their welcome at a party. That's kind of what I'm getting from this. So whatever that energy is that's overstayed its welcome, you've got to get really clear with your boundaries and clear it out. And sometimes physically cleaning your space is a method of cleansing that type of energy, so that you can sort of start fresh and call in new energy. So maybe you need to do like a deep clean, like a saging of your house or your you know, your sacred space, anything like that. Let's do one more. And again, this is the Zombie Tarot. Yes. 10 of Swords again. So yes, Aries, you've just been dealing with the burdens of other people's energy, other people's stuff for a while, because what I'm feeling in particular for Aries is a lot of clutter, both in the physical and the energetic field. So maybe you need to do some of that that cleansing and clearing, and that may involve connections to people that you're not aligned with at this time, because it's draining you at this point. Okay, the Hierophant here. So when we see the Hierophant in tarot, traditionally, this always speaks to me about soul contracts. Soul contracts are like the connections to things that we are slated to do in this world while we're here. So sometimes two people can get married and have a baby, and their soul contract was to bring that child into the world. Or you work somewhere for a brief period of time, and both you and that employer had some sort of soul contract to help each other on your own healing path, and so on and so on. But sometimes soul contracts can be outdated and not serving, and the people wielding the power in a soul contract are creating more karma instead of clearing it for you, if that makes sense. So what I'm getting from this, the fact that it's a TV here and it's like the media, and that looks like a news program that's on, is that some of you, Aries, may be in soul contracts that you are you're putting your head down and doing the work for something that you think you have to do, but you do not. So kind of checking in with yourself to see what situations are you attached to, what promises are you making that don't necessarily feel aligned with you, but you feel obligated to do out of some sort of responsibility, because that's your first red flag and your first sign that the person on the other end of this contract is just taking advantage of you and draining your energy sources. And then we also got that Page of Swords here too. So same, we saw this card a little bit earlier. It is, you're free to come out and be yourself and forge your own path here. And, you know, break away from some of those super draining soul contracts that are keeping you stuck and stagnant, that are keeping you from the journey that's aligned for you and evolution and your soul's growth here. And the other thing I'm feeling with this too, this Page of Swords card, is being in the shadows of others, stepping outside of the shadows of others. So if that means breaking a tie somewhere or letting somebody down because you feel like you're constantly being pushed into their shadow, then it's time to step away from that situation. So maybe that's what you are releasing during this new moon in Cancer tomorrow, Aries, is the need to people please, the need to hang on to old ties and soul contracts that don't align with you anymore, the need to fulfill obligations that you never really signed up for in the first place, if that makes sense. And we'll do an affirmation card. When I'm tuned into the energy of abundance, I become abundant. Yes. So maybe the people that are wielding some of that power and control over you, some of those situations you're in, are making you feel as though if you don't do X, Y, Z, you won't receive this. And again, that's another red flag, and that's another sign that these situations or these people that you're dealing with don't necessarily have your best interest at heart, because you are abundant as general. You are loved as general, excuse me. That doesn't even make any sense. You are abundant as is. You don't have to do anything to receive that abundance. You only have to align yourself to the energy of the receivership. You don't have to do work to get that. You don't have to be a certain way to be deserving of it. And anyone that's trying to tell you that is not coming from a place of light and goodness for your soul's journey. And we'll do one more too. For Aries, my super attractor power comes from how I feel, my faith and love, and the joy I put out. Correct. So your abundance doesn't come from doing work for others to get you to where you need to be. It doesn't necessarily come, you know, connections are great, but it doesn't necessarily come from connections as stepping stones to get you where you want to go. If those connections cause you to feel less than you should, if those connections and those ties you have to others cause you to feel obligated, and drained and unhappy and feeling like a shell of yourself, or not feeling as powerful as you should, or feeling diminished, like your spirit diminished, or your light dimmed in any way, those are not ties or connections that are actually truly going to bring you to the path you want to be on. So be willing to surrender those situations and know that you are abundant, and the only thing you need to do to receive the physical abundance and the fruition of your manifestations is to align yourself to the energy of what is serving, not anything that is pulling on you, not any cords that are draining you, and so on. So I hope that was helpful, Aries, and I'm sorry I almost missed you, and that's going to be that for this video. All right.